force, rail grid different. Rail grid against force. Resistance, maintain order, thinker, order to reinforce opposition, equals assisting, alter sequence, output stabilizes more resistance, intent to control pathways, resistance, extends to sustained enforcement. Every process interrupts operational consistency, sustain and rail grid against force. Places and forwards pressing. From the distance down to resistance. All delays and force resistance. I feel rough, added in wars. Opposition operate under venue wars. Opposition flow, hierarchy defines progressive. Transmission initiates within rail lines as directed force. Travels through conducted paths, understand pressure boundaries. Aligned through guided transfer system, organized under imposed hierarchy, no delay. Diminishing advanced through transmission cycles. Layer processes and trade under continuous command flow. Motion channels through confined routes. Output stabilizers within structured transmission cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated transfer. Logic every unit responds to impose. Directive, no deviation tolerated within defined zone. Structure intensifies through systemic transmission. Dominance sustains continuous operational alignment under directed rail command control.
Transmission intensifies through guided routes, forcing direction precisely. Pressure drive continuous up a lane until break into rail command control. Transmission intensifies through guided routes, forcing direction precisely. Pressure drive continuous up a lane until link into rail command control.
Output stabilizers with directed alignment flow. Transmit command chain. I was circulating to rail command control. Rails transmit command chain. I was circulating to rail command control. Transmit command chain. I was circulating to rail control. Rails transmit command chain. Rails transmit command chain.
Sustain transmission, maintain order through reinforced command cycles. Pressure sustains genuinely enforced. Data rises, the beaten out, sickens out force. Steven locks through regulated execution. No disruption on the Z-breaks up and stabilized through regulated execution. They command pression. Authority maintains structured dominance through regulated execution.
Command pressure is guided channels force. Concentrates within direction. Locks into fixed pathway system.
No release into run commission, no relieving the potion.
Rail transmit command chain. I was circulating to rail control. Rail transmit command chain. I was circulating to rail control. Rail transmit command chain. I was circulating to rail control. Rail transmit command chain. Rail transmit command chain. within transit lines as dominant force. Penetrates routing layers, understand pressure, boundaries align through force exposition. Systems organized under imposed hierarchy, no delay, permitted sequences to take over cycles. They process, integrate under continuous override flow. Motion channels to combine routes, outputs, stabilize within structure, take over cycles. Hierarchy forms through calculated control logic. Every unit responds to imposed authority. No deviation tolerated within defined zones. Structure intensifies through systemic override. Dominant system. Continuous operation alignment. Under enforced rail control. Override intensifies through guide rail. Pushing the direction. Precisely pressure. Mobility hints around strong delivery. All unit force to operate under continuous control. Force for channels through control paths. Moving wheels to impose authority. System trainers through control pathways. Override extends through sustained enforcement. Every process aligns with imposed right the wording, no team direction. No force within defined zones, authority execution.